What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and welcome to the Julian Edelman Route Running Breakdown. We're going to break down one of the best slot receivers in the game. This is by popular demand, so please leave in the comments, guys, who you guys would like to see me break down next. Let's get started. So he's going to be running a whip route right now, so let's watch this thing full speed. So he comes inside, gets this DB to overcommit, catches this ball, and then dives for the first down. A very smart play diving for this first down, but let's talk about this route, okay? So when he comes off this line immediately, his eyes go inside, he turns his shoulders to the inside, and what it gets this DB to do is to commit his hips. He opens the gate and he's running inside. Now, the reason why Edelman was able to exchange and get out of this break so fast is because look how violent and explosive his hips are. He's dropping his hips. He's dropping his weight to explode out of this break. Now, one other thing I want you to look at is his shin angles, okay? You can kind of see it right here, how his shin angles are almost on a 45-degree angle back to the direction he wants to go. So what that causes him is to be able to push off of this outside leg, push off this inside arch, so he's able to get some separation. And see, this DB already committed. He did his job selling this thing with his eyes and with his shoulders, and he was able to explode in and out of this break. And now he's pumping his arms and he accelerates out because just getting a little bit of separation off the break is not enough. He's got to accelerate out, continue to get separation. It's a race to the ball, and Edelman does a great job of doing that. So again, guys, he comes into this route, violent hips, shins on a 45-degree angle. That's how you get in and out of a whip route, any kind of route where you have to break out like that. And then he bursts upfield, dives, and gets this first down. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So off the line immediately, eyes, shoulders inside, violent hips, 45-degree on the shin angle, dive upfield, get this first down. Okay, so this is a little option route. Now, this is something that a lot of you guys are going to have to do at the slot receiver position where it's just get open, okay? You could either break out, you could break in, but it's an option route where you have to give him a move, get open, and then be able to create some separation. So let's watch this thing full speed. Edelman gives him a great move, and he's almost surprised that he beat him so well. Then he catches this ball, and then he gets upfield. So let's watch this move. Let's see why it works, okay? So he's coming off this line here. He bursts up. He closed the distance with him. He's gathering information right now. He's seeing how this DB is going to play him, okay? So he gives one move to the outside here, then a second move to the inside. So 1, 2. Now, what I want you to see is I want you to look at his upper half. I want you to look at his head and his shoulders. So to the inside, he gives a little bit of head and shoulders, back to the inside, or to the outside, gives head and shoulders, back to the inside. Then he gives it again, then he gives it one more time. So it's a 4-part sequence, okay? So he's coming through. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Gets this guy to completely jump inside. That's not the best DB technique by Peters here because he jumps, he hops. A DB never wants to hop like this, but how we can get him to hop from the receiver perspective is by giving him a little bit of head and shoulder movement and being real sudden with our feet. So he gives a sudden 1, 2, 3, 4. All upper half, keeps his feet almost planted in the ground. That's what moving your upper body can get for you. It's not just about your feet. It's not just about being quick with your feet. It's about being deceptive with your upper half, giving a little bit of head and shoulder movement, violent head, violent shoulders, coming out of this break, pivoting out, catching this ball, then focused on getting upfield and getting some extra yardage. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So he's coming off this ball here. 1, 2, 3, 4, gets him all the way inside, gets that DB to hop, a little bit of head and shoulder movement. That's a great job. Okay, so now he's running this against Keep Talib here. He's running a corner route off of a motion. Okay, now one thing I want you to notice is how early Talib opens up his hips and opens this gate here. Okay, that's the one thing I don't like about the defensive coverage on this is how soon he opens up his hips. So let's watch this thing full speed. His hips are completely open, giving him the inside now, which allows Edelman to close this gap, just give him a stick to the inside, then get upfield and get some yardage, okay, and get upfield and catch this ball. So let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Or no, let's break this thing down. I'm sorry. So, see, he's coming in motion. Talib is completely opened up. He's completely opened up in his gate, and now he's attacking inside, which keeps him open. I want you to look at Edelman's eyes, look at Edelman's shoulders. They're all working inside, okay? And Talib's a good DB. He's not no slouch DB. So he's selling this route inside, and you're going to see later in the video how this comes into play against the Dolphins this year even. So he's coming inside here. Now he takes this stem up back, and now he's focused on closing the gap with Talib, getting him on his heels, not allowing him to have full extension with his arms. He does a great job of closing this gap here, okay? So this is what we call stepping on the DB's toes, guys. That you, not seriously, but metaphorically, you want to step on his toes. What that means is you want to close the gap with him right before you're about to make this stick. All he does is he makes one little hop move to the inside here. He's attacking the back of his shoulders. Talib is in a very unathletic stance right now. Basically, waist is a little wide. He's flat-footed. He's attacking his shoulder, and look how much separation he's able to get because he attacks the back of that shoulder as well, and he closes this gap, gives a move, gets him on his heels. This is a very good position to be in because he's getting into this route. Talib's flat-footed. He's not going to be able to recover. He snaps that head back around because he knows he has him beat. He's always getting some separation on this route, and then Tom Brady puts this thing on him for a good ball, and he's able to get upfield. So the most important thing off of this route, guys, is taking this stem, selling this thing inside with his shoulders and with his head to get his gate to open up, then taking this stem, closing the gap, stemming this thing upfield, closing the gap with Talib here, and then puts his foot in the ground, attacks the back of his shoulder, snaps that head back around, and then catches this ball. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming in motion, gets him to close the gap, stems it up, closes the gap with him, steps on his toes, attacks the back of his shoulder, catches this ball, then gets upfield. That's a great job by Edelman. Okay, so now, this is going to be a great move. He's going to be running a little quick out right here, but I want you to see how much separation he's able to get. So DB is outside leverage, and he's running an out-breaking route. So there's a couple ways he can go about it. Now let's watch this thing full speed. So he takes a quick move inside, gets the DB off his platform, tries to restack him, catches this ball, and then he's able to get upfield. So let's watch this thing. Let's break it down. So off the line here, I want you to see how explosive this first move is. Gives a little bit of a wide step. We call this a wide step. Now, what he does here is he's very explosive. See how he's pushing off of this opposite leg. He's pushing off of his outside leg, his right leg, to make this thing look explosive. Look at his eyes. Look at his shoulders. They're all geared inside. Everything is about this route is telling this DB like he's just trying to run right across his face, maybe running a drag, maybe running a little quick slant, something where he has to get across his face. So he puts this foot in the ground here, and I want you to look at his head and his shoulders. What that does is that gets this DB to hop here. We never want to hop as a DB, guys, because when you hop, your cleats aren't in the ground, and the receiver's cleats are in the ground. I want you to look at his toes. His toes are straightforward. Look at these shin angles. Edelman has some of the best shin angles in the game on his whip route, on his releases, because he's pushing off of this inside leg, putting this foot in the ground, and now he's exploding out, giving a lot of head and shoulder movement turned, getting this DB to open up the gate soon. And now what I want you to see is he engages contact with him. He doesn't try to just run around him because he knows the DB will be able to recover. He's a talented DB. He's in the NFL. So he engages the contact. Now, this is not an explosive position for this DB. His arms are bent here. He's not extending with his arms. A DB's most powerful when he's able to extend and get a good jam on you. So his arms are closed off. He's in real tight. This is not a good base for him to be in, all because of this first wide step release. Now he's on this DB. He's closing the gap with him. Now he's able to fight his hands, get attack. Look, I want you to see where he's attacking. He's attacking that elbow, a point of control, guys. He's not trying to fight his hands. He's fighting those points of control. Now, this is a very bad position for this DB to be in. No hands on one of the most shifty wide receivers in the game. So what he does here is he fights for position to stack him. Now, I want you to see when he makes this stick here, he gives a little bit of an inside head and shoulder movement. He's giving a little bit of a jab with his upper half to the inside. Again, toes are straightforward. Look at those shin angles. He's explosive off of this cut. Anytime we want to be explosive off of his cut, that's the position we want to be in. But this head and shoulder movement, as you can see, kind of freezes this DB to the inside. Anytime we're able to get position to where we're over the top of him and he's trailing our back hip, or we're restacked on this DB, we give a head and shoulder fake to the inside. It's going to freeze him because he doesn't know which way we're going. This little step right here, watch this DB does, that's the separation that we need. That's the step that got us separation because he hesitated. He snaps his head back around. Now, what I want you to see also off of this cut is how he's pumping his arms and he's accelerating out of this break. What he does, what a lot of you guys will do, is you'll come right here and you'll stand straight up and you'll stop. Your pad level will go up and you'll be slow because you're looking for this ball. What that does is that allows this DB to recover here. So he's pumping his arms. He's exploding out of this break, catches this ball, breaks a tackle here. Great job after the catch, and then gets upfield. That's a great job by Edelman working on this route. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming off the line here, pushing off that inside leg, head and shoulder movement, engage the contact, restack, head and shoulder movement to the inside fake, gets him a DB to do a little false step, and then get upfield. Okay, so this is going to be a route. This is a touchdown by Edelman. He's going to be working to the back corner of this end zone. So now we're going to see this route, and then the next clip is going to be a video of him working the exact same route in practice. Everything these guys do is calculated. It's all about reps. So he's coming off the line real patient, jab to the inside, restack, a little bit of head and shoulder to the inside, just like the last clip, catch, toe tap for a touchdown. That's a great job. Let's break this thing down. So he's coming off the line here. He comes off explosive because he wants to close the gap with this guy. Again, he wants to step on his toes. He wants to get him in that position where his arms are bent and he's not extending completely and not in a powerful position. So he's closing this gap with him. Now he gives a little bit of a hop release here. Now what that does is that gets this DB on these heels. His hands aren't engaged. He's looking right at him. So all he has to do is give a little bit of a move to the inside, which is what he does. He gives a little bit of a jab to the inside, exploding off of this left leg here, exploding back out. Now what that does is that gets this DB to hop. When he hops to the inside, the DB's going to hop. DB will hop as well. And again, we've talked about this. We don't want that DB to hop. Now, all he knows is because he's got to take an outside release and he's got to get to the back corner, he doesn't have to worry about this hand. So he just has to beat his opposite hand. So what he does is he chops it down, slaps with the opposite, chops with the right. Now, this is a very bad position for this DB to be in. Again, one of the most shifty receivers in the NFL, not having any hands on him, and he restacked him. So this is the situation where we restacked him, much like the previous clip that we were showing. So he just gives a little bit of a stick inside here, and I want you to see he's looking, he's peeking. This is called a peek technique. Puts this foot in the ground, toes straight forward, and he's going to be pushing back outside. Now, what does this peek do? It gets this DB to commit his hips to the inside. He is completely off balance. He has no idea where Edelman's going to be going. He explodes out, snaps that head around, and see how early Tom Brady has this ball out. Brady's throwing, he knows he's got to accelerate out because the ball's already there right now from Brady. Ball's in the air. He sees the ball. DB has no idea where this ball's at, and he's playing catch-up the entire time, catch in the back corner. That's a great job. Let's watch this thing full speed from Edelman. Again, coming off the line, close the gap, a little hop, hesitation hop to the inside with a stick, gets this DB to hop inside, restack, get his hands off of you, a little peek technique to the inside, then catch this ball for a touchdown. So slow, hop to the inside, peek technique, gets his DB biting inside, catches this ball back of the end zone for a touchdown. That's a great job by Julian Edelman. So, this next clip right here, this is going to be the exact same route, and this is what I want you to see. This is from, I think this is from this year's training camp as well. So this is something that he's repped 100 times. Guys, you don't just walk into a game and you make stuff off along as you go, okay? He doesn't just come up to the line and think, oh, what am I going to do today? It's practice. It's reps. It's reps with his quarterback. He understands the timing. So what I want you to see here, same exact release, restack, peek technique to the inside, freezes the DB, same exact thing, catches this ball back of the end zone, okay? So let's break this thing down one more time. So coming off the line, now it's just the opposite side. Fast off the line again. He's explosive off the line, very quick. And then he gives a hop to the inside here, gets this DB to hop. As you can see, what is this DB doing? He's hopping. Edelman's hopping to the inside, the DB's hopping as well. They're both hopping in sync, so he's able to come here. Now this time, DB is so far inside, he's got so much weight on this leg that he's not going to be able to get hands. So all Edelman has to do is just avoid the contact. He's ready to chop this hand down, but he just avoids the contact and gets this DB so far inside because his release was so believable. He gave a good hesitation hop to the inside that he's able to just restack him right now. Now what does he do? Same deal. Peek technique over the inside. This sells like he's just going to be running a dig right now around the back of the end zone, and Brady's going to be giving the ball right here. DB gets frozen, bites to the inside. Again, you see that little false step from the DB. It's kind of tough to see because he restacked him so well. False step by the DB. Now he's playing catch up, and again, you want to see his pad level. This is a slow pad level. Look at Edelman's pad level. Very explosive. He's exploding out of this break. We know where we're going to go. The DB doesn't know. And again, look how soon this ball's in the air by Tom Brady. He's throwing this thing to a spot. Edelman knows he's got to accelerate out of this break. He's pumping those arms. Ball's a little bit behind him here, but still enough separation for Edelman to toe tap and get out of bounds. It's a great job for getting a touchdown for Edelman against this one-on-one route, making it as game realistic as possible. A lot of people like to say one-on-ones aren't that game realistic. You know, it's not real football. This is how you make it real football. You rep the things that you do in a game time situation. So he's able to come off here, jab, restack, stick to the inside. Brady's on time with him. Good ball, good catch for a touchdown. Okay, so Edelman's at the top of the screen here, if you can see him. So he's going to be working. I want you to really focus on, top of the screen right here. So he's going to be coming off this line real slow. Nice and slow pace. Let's watch this thing full speed, actually. Slow pace, stop right on a dime, sink those hips, then get upfield for a touchdown. Working that same exact whip route like the very first clip we worked in this video, but I want you to see what this does. So this little hesitation hop right here, what it does is he's gathering info. This DB's pressed. Obviously, it's man coverage. His eyes are on him, but he's got a little bit of space on him. He's not right up there trying to get hands on him. So Edelman knows he can get him on his heels with a little bit of a hesitation hesitation release. Gets that DB on his heels, foot in the ground. Now, he changes up his speeds here so well. Puts his foot in the ground and he accelerates out fast, snaps his head to the inside, commits his shoulders. What does that do? That gets that DB to open up, chasing his near hip, trying to make a play on this ball. Again, violent hips here, violent hips at the top. Look at those shin angles at a 45-degree angle, and he's able to explode out and accelerate out of this route, catch this ball for a touchdown. He's one of the most dangerous receivers in the red zone for good reason, guys. So let's watch this thing. Let's watch this thing again. Again, hesitation, get this guy on his heels. Sell speed change, commit, snap his head around, commit your shoulders, get the DB to open up that gate, chase that hip, sink those hips, violent hips, shins at a 45-degree angle, catch this ball for a touchdown. Let's watch this thing full speed. So coming off the line, slow, accelerate out, violent hips, shin angles, catches this ball for a touchdown. That's a great job by Edelman. Okay, so Edelman's going to be right here in the slot. Now he's going to be running a corner route. Okay, so this is like the second or the third clip that we watched from him, where he was against Aqib Talib. Now, again, I want you to watch it off the line. Let's watch this thing full speed. Eyes are inside. Stick to the inside, gets that DB to overcommit. Brady's on time. Great ball to the sideline for a great catch and a great gain. So let's watch this thing full. Let's break this thing down. So, again, off the snap of the ball, I want you to watch his eyes and I want you to watch his shoulders. Everything's looking inside. His eyes are looking inside. Everything about this is telling him that he's just going to be running a over route across the formation, maybe a post, whatever it's going to be. But everything about this is saying that it's an inside release, okay? So look at this DB here. He completely turns his hips. He's going to be opening up this gate because Edelman is selling this thing with his eyes. He's looking over the inside, good pad level. He's selling like he's just trying to get going right now. That's a great job by him. Now, he puts this foot in the ground here. I want you to see his upper half. Head and shoulder movement, sudden stick. They call this a pressure or a power step to the inside, a power jab. So head and shoulders to the inside. Again, toes are straight forward. Look at these shin angles on a 45-degree angle. Everybody always asks me, how can I get better cuts? How can I run routes better? How can I be more explosive? That's how you do it. Having a shin angle at a 45-degree angle, toes straight forward, exploding out. And I want you to see here, all he has to do is, again, attacking the back shoulder of this DB here, attacking his back shoulder, swat him by, chop with that opposite hand. This is a very, very bad position for this DB to be in because he's got about a yard, maybe 2-3 yards of separation, and this DB's off balance, open the gate too soon. Edelman's able to burst up, snap that head back around, and he knows he's on time with Brady for a great ball and a great catch for a first down and even more. So let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Again, selling like he's going inside with his eyes and with his shoulders. Sudden power jab to the inside. Swat him by on the shoulder. Get some separation, having a plan for his feet and a plan for his hands. Let's watch this thing one more time. Coming inside, jab, swat, chop. Snap that head around. Brady throws a good ball for a first down and about 5 more. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please leave in the comments who you guys would like to see me break down next. I really appreciate it if you like this video as well, and I'll see you guys next time.